Hey friends, you think living in the Philippines is always paradise? Well, not exactly. There is one problem that hits us every single year. And no water means no coffee, no showers, and no happy wife. And in our house, water only shows up at night. Sometimes just a trickle, not even enough pressure to turn the shower on. So I decided to find out, can you build a real water system at home with zero construction experience? Let's see what happened. My name is Dima. I came to the Philippines for diving and met my future wife Naivi. Together we bought almost a hectare of land and built a small cozy house. Now we have 2 little kids, 3 dogs and 2 cats. So yeah, life without water, it's tough. I did my research, and since I'm not a builder, I decided to use artificial intelligence to help me plan everything. I found a few different ways to create water pressure, but the one that made the most sense was building a water tower. Why water tower? Because even when there is no electricity, and that happens a lot here, we still have water flowing down from the tank using gravity. If we get good pressure at night, the tank will fill up, and during the day, it will flow straight into our house. Simple, genius, and hopefully life-changing. Now I can't build a giant metal structure myself. I can't weld. I don't work with concrete, so I looked for freelancers on Facebook. A bunch of people messaged me saying, we can do it. But when I asked for photos of their past projects, nothing. Except one guy, he showed me real contracts. And even towers he had built before. Huge ones, like cell phone towers, even a TV antenna tower. I thought if he can build those, he can build my little stand. But then he sent me this list, just numbers and weird codes. I had no idea what it meant. So I uploaded it into AI, and boom, it gave me a neat shopping list. I also told him I need a ladder, the tower should be 4 meters tall, with a railing on top so I can safely do maintenance or connect new pipes. I even showed him a design, AI generated. Honestly, I was overwhelmed, but it started to feel real. Now we're just waiting for the builder to show up and start construction. Meanwhile, I have to choose the right water tank, pipes, filters, fittings. Basically, learn plumbing from scratch. If it all works, we'll be happy and relaxed. If not, I might make everything worse. Let's find out. Later, I figured out what I needed to buy from the hardware store. And of course, we went as a family. On the way, we also ordered materials for the water tower. I decided to get a blue plastic tank instead of metal one. It's almost twice as cheap, it's quieter and easier to maintain. It should last us several years, and that's good enough for me. Do I know what I'm doing? Not really. But I found all this info online. That's my secret weapon. The seller said I had to leave the tank myself. Of course, I'm kidding. One of the staff explained how the float valve works. Same idea as a toilet tank. It stops the water when the tank is full. And here it is, our big blue beauty. 1500 liters. I hope it will be enough for our family. We paid 1500 pesos for delivery. And that's just the beginning. Later, the contractor finally arrived at our property. I showed him how I imagined the structure and where I wanted it to go. He also shared his own suggestions and ideas. We signed a contract, which by the way was written by ChatGPT. Seriously, what would I do without it? The builders asked for 30,000 pesos for the job, fair enough for a proper concrete tower. Meanwhile, Marshall, our dog, was readily soaking wet, even though there was no water anywhere. Maybe he just sweated from excitement? The contractor also asked if we needed a fence. I said yes. We have lots of projects ahead, and if he turns out to be reliable, I'd be happy to keep him around long term. We've already had a bad experience with the gate before, so we're not getting our hopes up too early. But let's see. Sometimes, water appears for just a moment, and when it does, I rush to fill every bottle I can find, at least to have some drinking water. Little by little, we kept ordering construction materials from local suppliers and having them delivered. And then real work began.
I'm building high.
While the builders were busy, I was waiting for the water tank to arrive so I could finally start connecting everything. Well, waiting nervously, to be honest. I've never done anything like this before, and I was scared I'd messed everything up. Later, I found out some bad news. It turns out that 4 meters of high might not give enough pressure for the water heater to work, which means not hot showers, so basically, the tank only helps when there's no water at all. But during the rest of the year, when the water supply is normal, I might actually make things worse by using the tank. Low pressure all the time. What a nightmare. But thankfully, there's a second setup that can fix this. I can run 2 separate hoses into the house, one straight from the main line and one from the tank. So when there is pressure from the street, water flows directly into the house, no tank needed. But when there is no pressure, water will come from the tank instead. Sure, the pressure will be lower, but at least we'll have water. Later, I also found out that our water heater model requires only minimal pressure to work. So technically, it should still heat water, even from the tower. ChatGPT also told me that I need to install check valves, so that water from the tank doesn't go back into the municipal line, and the municipal water doesn't flow into the tank from below. That way, the water only flows one way. When there is good pressure, it goes directly into the house. When there is not enough or no pressure, it switches automatically to the tank. Sounds smart, right? Yeah. But making it work in real life is way more complicated. I'm not even sure if I can pull it off. And of course, just when Navi, my wife, had ladder up, boom, no water.
I'm so sticky.
Luckily, this little one managed to take her bath, but this guy, not so lucky. And next morning, construction of the tower continued. Oh no, the dogs are out of water too! That's how serious this is.
A few moments later.
Then finally the water tank arrived. I was excited to start connecting everything, but also terrified I'd screw it all up. By day 5, the posts were almost finished. Materials were still arriving bit by bit, as we ordered more along the way. The workers started welding the ladder that would let us climb to the top of the tower. That part was pretty cool. Now it was time to get the tank up there. For that, we used my free diving rope. At least it's finally getting some use, since I haven't been free diving in over 6 months. And now the easy part, just connect everything. Honestly, I wish AI could just possess my body and do it for me. But no, every time I have to copy-paste stuff into ChatGPT and double-check everything. Step 1. Make sure water can flow into the tank. And from the tank into the house. Simple enough, right? Yurchik was helping me. Well, at least he thought he was helping.
Уронил уже что-то. Spiders.
And this little gadget turned out to be my favorite part of the whole setup.
Кожей пульс. Я не инженер, но сегодня пульс. Я строю башню.
I tried installing the float valve that stops water from overflowing, but I couldn't reach it, and there is no safety railing yet. Standing on a chair was way too risky, so I went back to adjusting the pipes. At this point, I think even Elon Musk might be getting worried about my level of innovation. In the end, the builder helped. He wasn't afraid of standing on a chair. He climbed on top of the tank. Our water comes from the road, flows down, and now supposed to fill the tank directly. We lifted the hose higher, so the water flows in smoothly.
Мы варим, мы режем, мы держим вес. Без чертежей, но точность как лес. Здесь каждый болт, как слово в стихе. И все, что мы делаем, в том
And now it's all done. We just had to wait for the water to come. Then I heard it. That beautiful sound. The tank was filling with water, which was a miracle because we had no water at all at the time. Not even enough to drink. The next morning, I turned on the faucet. Nothing. No water. How did I manage to build a system that made things worse? At least before we'd get some water at night. Maybe the filter was too fine? I removed it to test.
Хотя бы тут должна работать.
Oh, it's flowing.
Тут есть.
Or maybe not. And now the power out too. Great.
Пошло.
Water did start flowing, but the pressure wasn't great yet. Then, the moment of truth. Would the shower work? Meanwhile, the workers started reinforcing the post, so the whole thing wouldn't shake in the wind. Later that day, the pressure got stronger. Maybe the air bubbles were finally pushed out of the pipes. Now water fills the tank, flows into the house with more pressure, the shower works, and yes, the water even heats up, and when the municipal water pressure is strong enough, flows directly into the house, bypassing the tank. It's perfect, no water sits stagnant, and I'm honestly proud of myself, but I wouldn't have done it without AI, the builders, and all the people who helped along the way. We even got the tower painted in black and gray, and the filter area was set in concrete, so it stays dry and easy to access for maintenance. Oh no, now we're lost electricity. See you next time.